Why would a princess surrounded by luxury, power, and wealth choose to marry a beggar with nothing but tattered clothes? What secret does this story hold that has been passed down for generations? Today, I'm going to tell you an incredible Islamic tale with a moral that can change the way you see the world. This is the story of a king, his daughter, and a beggar who shocked everyone. Imagine a kingdom so vast and powerful that its fame spread across the lands. In the heart of this empire lived a king, proud and ambitious, known for his wealth and strict rules. He had a daughter, a princess, who was not only beautiful but also wise beyond her years. She had grown up surrounded by silks, jewels, and every comfort imaginable. But here's where the story takes a twist despite her royal upbringing. She valued something far more important than gold or power. The king, wanting to secure his legacy, decided it was time for his daughter to marry. But he wasn't just looking for any suitor. He wanted someone with status, someone who could bring more power to the throne. He announced a grand event, inviting princes, noblemen, and wealthy merchants from across the kingdom. The competition to win the princess's hand was fierce. Now, here's the part that will shock you. Among the glittering crowd of suitors was a man unlike anyone else. He wasn't dressed in royal robes or expensive fabrics. No, he wore tattered clothes, and his only possessions were a stick and a small bundle. This man was a beggar. The beggar's presence alone caused a stir in the court. People laughed at him, mocked him, and wondered how he even dared to enter the palace. "Why are you here?" the guards sneered. But the beggar stood tall and replied, "I have come to ask for the princess's hand in marriage." You might be thinking, was this man insane? The guards certainly thought so. They dragged him before the king, hoping he'd be punished. But the king, curious about this audacious beggar, decided to let him speak. The beggar bowed deeply and said, "Your Majesty, I may not have riches, but I have a heart full of faith and trust in Allah. If it is written in my destiny, I will marry the princess." The court erupted in laughter. A beggar marrying a princess. The king, amused but also offended, decided to humiliate the beggar. He set a series of impossible tasks, thinking the man would fail and leave. The first task was to bring water from the river in a sieve. How could anyone carry water in a sieve? But the beggar did not panic. He turned to Allah, prayed, and found a solution. He lined the sieve with clay, sealing the holes, and brought the water back to the king. The king, now intrigued but still skeptical, gave him another challenge. He ordered the beggar to bring a treasure more valuable than gold. The beggar left the palace and returned days later with a single leaf. The court gasped in confusion. But the beggar explained, "This leaf, created by Allah, gives life to all creatures. No treasure is more valuable than the gifts of Allah." Each time the beggar succeeded. Each time he showed wisdom and faith that even the wealthiest men lacked. The princess watched these events closely. Unlike the others in the court, she wasn't laughing. She was deeply moved by the beggar's sincerity and trust in Allah. Finally, the king gave his last and hardest challenge. He told the beggar, "If you can bring me proof that you are destined to marry my daughter, I will allow it." The beggar smiled and replied, "Destiny is written by Allah, and no man can change it. I have no proof except my faith." The court fell silent. The king was struck by the beggar's unwavering belief. But what happened next is even more surprising. The king turned to his daughter and asked her, "What do you think of this man? Should I send him away, or do you believe his words?" The princess, who had been silent until now, stood up. She looked at her father and said, "Father, I have seen many men try to win my hand, but none have shown the qualities that truly matter. This man has humility, wisdom, and faith in Allah. These are the qualities of a true leader and a good husband. I would rather marry a man who fears Allah than someone who only values wealth and power." The king was stunned. He had never expected his daughter to choose a beggar over princes and nobles. But her words touched his heart. He realized that true worth is not measured in gold or status, but in character and faith. And so, the princess married the beggar. Their wedding was simple, without the extravagance of royal ceremonies. But what happened next is the most surprising part of the story. The beggar, who appeared to have nothing, turned out to be one of the richest men in the kingdom, not in money, but in wisdom and spirituality. His faith and humility transformed not only the princess's life, but the entire kingdom. Now, let's talk about the moral of this story. Why has this tale been told for centuries? Because it teaches us something profound. First, true wealth is not in material possessions. The beggar's strength came from his unwavering faith and trust in Allah. This story reminds us that money can't buy qualities like wisdom, kindness, and patience. Second, Allah's plan is always perfect. The beggar could have given up when the king mocked him. He could have walked away, but he trusted Allah's plan, and in the end, he was rewarded in a way no one could have imagined. Finally, this story shows us that real power lies in humility. The princess, despite being raised in luxury, understood this. She looked beyond the beggar's appearance and saw his true worth. So, the next time you feel like the odds are against you, remember this story. Trust in Allah, work hard, and never judge someone by their appearance. Who knows? You might just discover that the most valuable things in life can't be seen, they're felt. Friends, if you enjoy our content, then right now subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. This way you'll be the first to get updates on our new videos. See you in the next video.